You're listening to The Burning Truth. Hello, ladies and gentlemen, dude and dudettes. I'm your host, Matt Burns, and with my co-host, John Bloor, we are live. Yes, I know last week we originally stated that we potentially be in the same room together, and it might be pre-recorded. Unfortunately, due to busy schedules and exhaustion, we decided
that is not the case. Yeah, we decided to record it as normal.
Yeah, pretty much, and put best foot forward. However, just to make you all aware, yes, yesterday for ourselves, we were at UKWA Ready for War, which I will state, what a show, absolutely amazing, and what a way to. What a great way to have a great wrestling show on the weekend.
Yeah, well, frankly, a weekend that has led me to suffer ever so slightly from wrestling overkill.
You think?
2 great shows down, and a third one potentially tonight.
Correct, but ladies and gentlemen, because there was at this moment in time, there was that much going on. Emotions at the moment in regards to the show last night. I don't know if this is the same for John himself, but for me, it's my own mind is a bit of a whirlwind of emotions in regards to that show, and I'm waiting for certain things to settle in regards to everything that had happened, and pretty much got to go through certain footage because as much as I was on running the show, you can't watch everything and everything. So I know I want to be able to know everything that had gone on, all angles, so we can give you a full coverage of the actual show. But in total, the actual show itself was an absolute amazing show. But we are going to do a full coverage of it next week, just to point that out. And we'll most likely do a cover, coverage of NXT Takeover. Toronto next week as well, while also at the same time most likely covering tonight's event, which is WWE SummerSlam.
And therefore, just in case you're wondering, the purpose of tonight's show is a little bit of maybe other things at the end, but the main body of it will be our little bit of fun just between us, predictions for what we think is going to happen tonight at SummerSlam.
Pretty much. Now, we know a lot's gone on in the wrestling world, unfortunately, due to pretty much like the reason why we haven't done the pre-recorded episode together due to exhaustion and as such, and plus we also want to not to take up too much of your time because we know that there's a potential chance of SummerSlam starting early. We want to make sure that everyone's able to get a chance to watch SummerSlam because. Let me just state this. How many matches are officially announced?
According to Wikipedia, other online web-based encyclopedias may be available. I'm not sure. According to Wikipedia, 12.
12. 3 of them on the pre-show. So straight away, we've got a lot to cover, and we don't want you to be missing any pre-show madness.
Exactly, because as the clocks have gone forwards. No, hang on, have the clocks changed? Is what I'm getting at here is, does the pre-show start at midnight?
Or at 11 o'clock?
Start at 11 p.m.
Not 100% sure myself, which is why we pretty much want to get this done as quickly as possible and as soon as possible, so we're not taking too much of your time.
In that case...
Shall we get down to business?
Sorry, there's a but. Go on.
But shall we get down to business? It was it.
Yeah, okay. I was going to say, in that case, match 1 on the pre-show, according to Wikipedia. Singles match between Apollo Crews and Buddy Murphy. Interesting. 2 guys who don't feature much on WWE pay-per-views. Well, okay. Buddy Murphy did when he was the Cruiserweight champion. He has moved beyond the 205-pound weight limit now.
Yeah.
Hence why he's fighting guys considerably larger than that, like Apollo Crews. But like I say, in the
Yeah.
last few months, it would be nice to see both these guys on the main show, as it is on the pre-show, but still.
Yeah.
I only have one question.
Yeah.
As you know, I religiously watch NXT and NXT UK, and sometimes watch 205 Live. I dip in and out of the main roster. I don't know why this match is happening. Could you fill me in, please, Matt Burns?
Honest answer?
You're not sure either.
No idea.
Fair enough. Needless to say, two more than capable guys who will probably give it everything, given the fact they've been given an opportunity.
Apologies if there is a reason, but let's just point this out. There's only so much wrestling that we can watch.
Yeah, and trust me, if you were in Osage Civic Hall yesterday and you'd seen UKWA Ready for War, you'd understand my brain is still trying to process the Ready for War Rumble.
And
so,
you would, and I wish I had your job.
What, just sitting there talking about the show?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's quite cushy, but like I say, so much happened in that Rumble. Now I'm still trying to. I have never seen so much action in such a short amount of time.
It's chaos.
Yeah, but we'll talk more about that next week. Anyway, neither of us officially know, due to outside things. We had our own show to sort out.
Pretty much.
So neither of us are sure why this match is happening, but we're sure it'll be a good one. And so I'm going to do the wrestling prediction equivalent of sticking a pin in a phone directory and say,
hang on. Shall I go first then?
Okay, if you're pretty much doing the same thing, yeah. Why
No.
Not? Oh,
no.
Okay.
No, I actually have a reason.
Go on.
Apollo Crews, yes, does need to have some victories and everything, and he's been doing stuff with CNO. I think he's done a little bit on Raw. Then you've got Buddy Murphy who's on SmackDown, and if I'm not mistaken, Buddy Murphy has not been on any show recently.
Nope.
And when he does,
really.
And when he did, it was him getting face to face with Roman, getting his face, looking like, "Is something going to build? Is something going to build?" No, Roman Reigns is going to smack him around and almost turn him into. And let me just state this, ladies and gentlemen. This is we do state this. Audio discretion is advised. Basically, Roman Reigns made Buddy Murphy his bitch.
Yeah, it really didn't do anything to advance either man's career. Bearing in mind, we have all come to terms resignedly to the fact that for as long as Roman Reigns is in good health, which, don't get me wrong, we wish he is for the rest of his life.
Yeah.
But as long as Roman Reigns is in good health, he is going to be a top guy in WWE. So,
however,
beating up quite spectacularly someone who is not probably ever going to be a world title contender, unless things change quite severely, doesn't benefit either of them. It's
however, the bit ironic what you just said. Bit ironic what you just said there. But I'll reveal that a little bit later. You'll see why.
Oh, I see. I've unwittingly led you on to something later.
For later.
Like I said, there's more thought that goes into this than it may sound if you listen to it.
Correct. The cards are always turning.
Indeed. So did you say, who did you choose? Or have you not got that far
I have not got that far yet. I am going to, as much as I know Apollo Crews, he's been having some wins and losses, Buddy Murphy's not had a chance to shine yet, so I'm pretty much going to slap on the prediction straight onto Buddy Murphy.
Okay. Annoyingly, I was also going to say Buddy Murphy.
Mm-hmm. You can do.
As tempted as I was to say no contest because Cedric Alexander comes down and kills both of them, just pull a random nonsense answer out of my backside. No, I think that Buddy Murphy will win.
Yeah.
I don't know why the match is happening, so I don't really know why I think that either, but it's just, like I said, two names, pick one. I pick Buddy Murphy. I don't really have a reason why.
That's fine. That's all good.
Right.
That's all good.
Next
Moving
match,
on.
Also on the pre-show, tag team match for the Women's Tag Team Championship.
Allow me to state WWE Women's Tag Team Championship.
Oh yeah, because there is only one set. It's not Raw or SmackDown. It's all WWE.
Correct.
Current reigning champions, Alexa Bliss and Nikki Cross.
Twisted Chaos.
Oh, is that what they're called?
No, that's what I'm just calling them.
Oh, I see. No, I was going to say, because it just says Alexa Bliss and Nikki Cross.
I know, but
Bliss. I need to put my teeth in on the website. So that is a good name for them.
Twisted Chaos, I thought I'd go with. Why not?
WWE checks made payable to M. Burns at The Burning Truth, please.
Or just to Burning Truth.
That would also work.
We do have to keep the lights on.
Of course. And they'll be facing the former WWE Women's Tag Team Champions, Billie Kay and Peyton Royce.
The Iconics.
The Iconics.
The Iconics.
Or
Not
as
I.
I miss... No, there's two eyes.
There is two eyes, but it's the first eye silent.
Yeah, I know, but it's just like...
I know.
It's like that ridiculous Diet Nexus faction, the Core, having two R's in it. Or Ruby Riot's name having two T's in it. WWE have done it. It's probably best not to ask why.
Just call it.
Anyway,
Moving on.
interesting match. Winners
Interesting.
to face Asuka and Kairi Sane the following night on Raw, which is
Ooh.
the interesting point.
Which could change the prediction, potentially.
Possibly. Not for me. It doesn't make any difference for me. So I'll go first for this one, if they don't mind.
Please do.
My prediction is the titles are too new, and therefore WWE are not going to start having multiple time champions, at least until every available tag team has held them at least once. So I predict, at least tonight, champs to retain.
Interesting.
Alexa Bliss and Nikki Cross. As far as tomorrow night, against Asuka and Kairi Sane, it's not our job to predict that, so I'm not going to. Not just because I don't actually know. Could go either way, that one.
I actually disagree with you.
Good, because that means one of us will win. It will be a draw, more than likely, if we all go for the same side every match. So disagreement, that doesn't hurt.
Pretty much. I'm going to go with the Iconics to regain the championship.
Does that mean you think they're going to have a 24-hour title reign and then lose tomorrow night?
I'm not saying that.
No, I know you didn't say it, but I'm asking, is that what you're implying?
It's a possibility, but at the same time, at the moment, I feel as though a part of me wants it to stay on Alexa Bliss and Nikki Cross.
Yeah.
I actually want, as stupid as it sounds, I actually want you to be correct on this one.
Yeah. You just don't think it will be.
No. I think they'll put it back onto the Iconics because I feel like as though, yes, I am going to agree with what you said earlier. I do think that they're going to potentially put the belts on Asuka and Kairi Sane because it's just, they seem to be showcasing them a bit more, and the fact that you got Asuka and Kairi Sane getting victories over them on house shows as such.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
Without them losing the championships as well. So they could be potentially pushing them. But at the same time, I would love to see Alexa Bliss versus Nikki Cross. No, Alexa Bliss and Nikki Cross versus Asuka and Kairi Sane.
I don't think there's a fan out there that wouldn't, to be honest.
But
little trivia question.
As an alternative, I actually think this could actually end up breaking Alexa Bliss and Nikki Cross.
You see, I see where you're going with that, and it could honestly go either way. Genuine trivia question, which you may know the answer to, and anyone who's listening who does, if you don't, is welcome to get in touch with us via the Burning Truth social media.
And of course,
the
on
Iconics.
Yeah?
Have they actually defended the titles at all, ever, since they won them like 3 months ago?
Yes.
Really? Because it's not even so much as been on a pre-show, much less a pay-per-view before, so I assume it's been on TV.
I believe it might have been on TV. I'm just... Yeah, they
Yeah,
have.
because-
They have.
Okay.
They have for sure.
Because it does strike me as the kind of, hey, we've got these new titles, we've given them to Bayley and Sasha Banks. Oh, they've lost them. Oh, we've lost interest.
They beat enhancement talents.
So the answer is, in the most strict sense, no, they haven't defended them. Okay, fair enough.
Yes, they have. They also defended them on Raw, June 17th.
Is that so?
Yes. And
It
the
does
irony of it
strike me
is,
they could
and
have
the
done
irony
more
of it
with
is, who
Go
did
on.
they beat?
Gemma Jobber and Emma Enhancement Talent.
No, the current tag team champs.
Oh, really?
Really?
Okay, there you go. I wasn't sure, you see, because I haven't heard anything about it. It's almost, the titles have been almost as non-existent as the 24/7 Championship outside of WWE.com.
And they also retain them against the Kabuki Warriors via countout, but that's why the Kabuki Warriors are number one contenders. But then it was on August 5th when they lost the titles to Bliss and Cross in a Fatal 4-Way Elimination Tag Team match. This was on August 5th.
So, about a week ago.
Pretty much.
Yeah. Okay, that's cool. So I'm saying champs to retain. You're saying new champions.
New champs.
Possibly twice in as many days, but we're not sure about that.
Who knows?
Anyway, okay, that's cool. Right, we move on next to the singles match for the WWE Cruiserweight Championship.
This is... Wait. I have a prediction here already, straight off the bat, about this match.
It's not going to be a wrestling match. It's going to be a fight.
Pretty much. But at the same time, I predict this to be match of the pre-show.
And very probably in the top 3 for match of the whole night.
I think it will be match, the top match for the pre-show. Without a shadow of a doubt.
No, absolutely. It'll be the best match on the pre-show. But like I'm saying, I think it'll be in the top 3 for matches for the whole evening.
Might be a good call. But we'll have to see.
Yeah.
But we'll have to see.
It's going to be a hard-hitting, brutal war. Just what both men enjoy.
Pretty much.
And, well, I have the distinct impression that he's currently sort of only just about above the height of skyscrapers, tower blocks.
Yeah.
But I've got a feeling that Drew Gulak is being pushed slowly but surely to the moon. So I don't see his title reign ending anytime soon. And as much of a fight as Only Lorcan will put up,
yeah,
I don't think he's going to win.
As much as I would love to go, oh, Oni, come on, you can do it. Gulak hasn't had a good run with the belt as of yet. But, so...
I think this will be the match that, lights the fire, that kickstarts it.
It can. I think... But then again, I think Drew Gulak has been having some great matches with Tony Nese and everything. And has been doing really well. And it's interesting to see his dynamic to become the WWE Cruiserweight Champion. Me personally, I think he's been an absolute amazing wrestler. Highly rated talent, and I think this is an interesting matchup.
I agree completely. And after Only Lorcan loses,
yeah,
him and Danny Burch can go after their true calling.
Yes.
Asuka and Kairi Sane for the Women's Tag Team Championship. Sorry, did I say that out loud?
No.
I mean, of course, they can go after the NXT Tag Team Championships. That's what I said, right?
Surprised they haven't gone for the NXT UK Tag Team.
That's also a distinct possibility, Now, I haven't seen the latest edition, so apologies if this has happened on that, but I don't think the challenges have been announced for Grizzled Young Veterans for TakeOver Cardiff yet. So it is a possibility. Anyway, I'm going for Drew Gulak to retain in the, what we'll laughably call the pre-show main event.
Correct. But to be honest, I do think that the WWE Cruiserweight Championship should be on the main event soon. It
I
should be. It
completely agree.
needs. But anyway, we digress. We need to move on.
We
We're
do.
both going for Drew
However,
Gulak.
Yeah, I would just like to put an aside to you as a question.
Mm-hmm.
In order to give it a bit more mainstream exposure and make people, I don't know, care about it a little bit more.
Yeah.
To put the Cruiserweight Championship on the main show, do you think that there should be a new... It's kind of a bit gimmicky, but how's this for an idea?
What?
Each pay-per-view pre-show has a match during which the 24/7 rule is suspended for the duration of the pre-show, and the main event of each pre-show is a match for the 24/7 championship.
I'm down with that.
Again, checks payable to the Burning Truth, please, WWE, if you implement that idea. I think it's a good one.
Help us keep the lights on.
Hell yeah. Help us keep Tesco value pasta in the cupboard.
Stop giving away my secrets.
That's all right. Everyone knows there's no such thing as Tesco value anymore. It's a bewildering array of separate names for companies that are all not really existing. They're just made up by Tesco. Right,
Or
other
Best
supermarkets are available. Let's move
True.
on.
True.
Now, this match, again, I've only dipped fleetingly in and out of the main roster. I have no idea why it's happening.
Which
So
one?
if you do, I'm looking forward to you filling me in. But I think there's a typo.
You think there's a typo?
Charlotte Flair is having a match against... That's a really funny way to spell Sasha Banks.
Nope.
Oh, you mean I haven't got it wrong? She is
Nope.
actually fighting Trish Stratus.
100%.
Okay. Go on then. Please do. Fill me in. Why?
Right. Where do we begin with this one?
Oh dear. That doesn't fill me with confidence.
Where do I begin with this one?
The beginning
me a
is usually
favour.
a sensible place.
Do me a favour.
What, try not to laugh too much? Okay.
Get the
I
box.
can't promise, but
Get the box.
the soapbox, it's
Please
on
do.
standby. It's on standby. It's
It
freshly
need-
polished.
Right. Where do we begin with this one? The fact that you've got Charlotte Flair, who, okay, lost to Ember Moon. Yeah, that's fine. That's great. So Ember Moon, so somebody else could run for the title. Yeah, great. Happy for you. But don't go on to an interview and then bury your own champion and the number one contender who you just lost to by saying, I'm going to find an even better opponent.
No. That's very sad.
Translation, you just buried a championship.
Essentially, what you're saying is Yabu sucks to that title.
I
I'm not
lost.
good enough. At
Yeah,
this particular moment in time, during that match, I was not good enough. Someone else won the right to fight for it, so I don't care. So I'm taking my ball and going home and fighting someone else.
But
And sod everybody.
stating she's going to be fighting someone of a higher caliber.
Well,
And it's like, hang on.
WWE legend Trish Stratus, I can see where she's going with that, but they could have worded it better.
No, that's what I'm saying. It's the fact of, it's like, you pause like, if you can't beat the current number one contender, how are you going to beat someone of a higher caliber?
Well, that is, of course, the million-dollar question, and one that we'll possibly find out the answer to if we can stay awake.
It's just,
The important question here, of course, as well, is...
how did they get into this segment? Basically,
Yeah.
Trish Stratus came out to, to greet the fans and everything. Charlotte came out and tried to challenge Trish, and Trish just goes, I've done everything that I need to do. Basically, having my ego stroked.
a word of truth on WWE television. And Kevin Owens didn't say it. Wonders never cease.
Pretty much. And then pretty much, Charlotte Flair's digging at, because she can't do this, what's the matter? Are you, old, dried up, you can't do anything, blah, blah, blah. The usual spiel, and pretty much the strategy says, pretty much, just goes, right, enough, I'm going to make you eat your words. Give her a bit of a slap, ready to have the brawl out, and Charlotte's saying, we're having the match. and we'll be having it on my terms at the event.
Interesting. Now, if it was up to me, I'd have put the Women's Tag Team Championship matches on the main card, and this would have been on the pre-show. But, you know,
But it's a legend.
WWE logic.
It's a legend.
Yeah.
Somebody in the WWE Hall of Fame.
Who will lose to someone who's not good enough to be in the title picture, or which will do her immense damage, or will beat someone who is only narrowly not in the title picture, which will do them immense damage. Nobody's really going to win from this.
But the thing is, Trish doesn't need the win. She's now considered a legend, so she's already got her permanent status there. Charlotte Flair, you may think it do some damage, but it's okay to knock down a wrestler a peg or two from time to time to state, yes, they are people, they are human.
Yes. Speaking of, nobody is really going to win in this scenario. Let's move swiftly on. Oh, wait, no. I was going to say let's move swiftly on to the next match on the card.
We'll get to that.
It's a good segue. But first, we do actually need a prediction for who's going to win.
We do.
As much as I don't really care, which is a fatal thing for me to have to say about something I enjoy so much. But sadly, not everyone can get fully behind every match. And yeah, I'm not really asked about this one, but I'm going to say Charlotte.
Oh, different opinion again.
Yeah, I'm going to say Charlotte solely because she's still an active member of the roster. Trish may lose a little bit by losing, but she's then going to walk back off into the sunset and it doesn't really bother her. Whereas, on top of everything else that the fans have got to throw at Charlotte, about her being the female John Cena and getting everything handed to her, you lost to a part-timer doesn't help her cause.
It may not do, but at the same time, it can still knock them down a peg and have them rebuild. There's nothing wrong with that, because even the very best get knocked down to you hit rock bottom to get back up. That's my opinion. And the reason why I'm going to go with Trish is because, where's she from?
Oh yeah, that country to the north of America where the show's coming from.
Yeah, did you forget
and
that?
And indeed, that city where the show's coming from.
Did you forget that?
I may have done.
Yeah, I'm going to go with Trish Stratus on this one, simply because of that. The second thing is, I think that Charlotte Flair, it may not damage her as much as you think, because regardless of it, yes, her having a loss, but it's against a WWE Hall of Famer, who is one of the most decorated WWE Women's Champions. Or WWE Divas Champion, whatever you...
Women's Divas, whatever it was called at the time. Yes, she's won quite a lot of championships. I get that, but I'm still going with Charlotte, so that's good.
That's fine, but at the same time, I feel as though if Charlotte takes the loss, fair enough. It means that she will become. I think she'll become even bigger after it's taken the loss, and that's me being honest.
Well, I hope that you're right. But I genuinely don't know. That's not the way I see it. But if that is how it goes down, I can only hope you're right.
Okay.
Anyway, talking of stupid and pointless, which that match kind of is, this match,
I don't think it is. I know.
Is.
I think the way they built into it was stupid. I don't think the match is actually that stupid at all for Trish and Charlotte.
Okay, fair enough. Anyway, as we say,
but
let me just put these are just our opinions.
Correct. One more thing, point in. I think if they actually did it a bit more respectful and didn't do the pretty much dump on their own championship, SmackDown Women's Championship as much, it could have done so much more. And the fact is, if she basically turns around and says, "I'll come for that championship at a later date, but I've got a target in mind, and I want to make myself legendary status." Something along them lines.
I can see where you're going with that. That's fair enough. Anyway, as I keep trying to see into, from one match which you've convinced me isn't pointless, to one match that you could basically talk non-stop without hesitation or repetition from now until doomsday, and you will never convince me is anything other than a card filler of epic proportions, which I think will honestly go on no longer than one of the participants' match with Kevin Owens at the last show.
No, it'll go longer than that.
Why? Because it takes longer to do a spear and a jackhammer than it did for Owens to hit a stunner.
Yeah.
Okay, fair enough. Goldberg against Dolph Ziggler for basically, I think it's basically a give Goldberg one last payday and, for reasons best known to themselves, bury Ziggler again match.
It doesn't.
I think that match is going to go on less time than it took me to say that.
It doesn't, because I think the way they set it up was clever. A little bit. This is the only point I'm going to give him a little bit of points on this.
Right.
But get the soapbox ready.
It's always on standby, especially
That's
when we
fine.
do predictions. You should know this by now.
That's fine. Dolph Ziggler, and each time he came out for an interview with the Miz, a segment with the Miz or anything, he kept firing shots at Goldberg.
Ah.
And a few people were like, "Oh, that's interesting." Especially after the Raw reunion, saying about has-beens and everything, and then even in front of HBK, mentioning Goldberg. Ooh, interesting. But that's the good point. Bad point is, why the hell, even though he's mentioning Goldberg, have him at one moment looking like he's feuding with The Miz, which he was, which is going to end up having the match on Raw against The Miz, and then also have that little segment with Shawn Michaels by giving Shawn Michaels a super kick.
Yeah, talk about not really sure what they're doing with this.
It was like, hang on, okay, he's referencing Goldberg. They could have done Goldberg at a later date, could have done Goldberg on Raw, could have done whatever, time come out, kill him.
Just remind me, was Raw Ultimate Edition, or whatever the hell it was called, is that where most of these matches came from initially?
Not really.
Is that why
it's
people
the,
like
the,
Goldberg
the one
and
after.
Trish Stratus were on
No.
Raw?
No, SmackDown, these were all done on.
Okay.
The week, on the same week though.
All right.
On the same week.
On the same week of Raw Gold. Okay.
Yeah. I mean, a Raw reunion. Raw reunion. That's fine. We've got to be right. We've got to do it. We've got to do it right. We need to be professional.
Raw 26th anniversary special.
Anyway.
Whatever the hell it was. Yeah.
Raw reunion.
Yeah, okay, fair enough. I was going to say the rapid fashion.
Apologies for this, ladies and gentlemen. We are having a few technical difficulties. Just bear with us for a second.
Take a deep breath, have a sip of your tea, or whatever else you may be drinking, and we will resume.
It's alright, it's just what happened there, Blaze, not Blaze, Blow, apologies, almost mentioning a former life.
Yeah, I've had expensive therapy to try and remove that from my mind. Thank you so much.
Sorry. Anyway, Blow?
Yes, Mr. Burns.
Excellent.
We went through a tunnel there. Sorry about that, but anyway, we're back now.
Correct. We had a bit of a technical difficulty there, but we do apologise for that. We shall continue. But anyway, yes. The thing with this is, what I find so stupid is the fact that we got Dolph Ziggler being involved 1 minute with Miz, next minute with Prince Ali. No, I'm not even doing that. Against Ali.
I like the fact that you think that he's basically Aladdin.
Pretty much. I thought I'd just do that.
That's it. For the rest of until I forget that I've said this, I'm now officially referring to him in all conversations as Aladdin Jericho because of his light up gear.
Nice.
Yep.
I love it. I absolutely love it.
Yeah, there you go.
But anyway, the point being is, I think the fact that they've done all this, and it just feels as though, really? Why?
Yeah, it's just literally, this match is basically the intros of both guys, and then about 10 seconds of match. It's basically a toilet break for the fans, isn't it? That's all it's there for.
It isn't, but I do get one thing that was also good as well. Dolph Ziggler mocking Goldberg the week before.
Yes.
Oh,
Well, if there's one thing Dolph Ziggler's good at, it's making light of others, shall we say.
yes. And he did that quite... What?
And spectacularly overselling in a way that makes the way The Rock takes a stunner look subtle and understated.
But anyway, the point being is, we know what the predictions are going to be. I'm going to go with it. You're going to go with it. Goldberg.
Ziggler is next. It's official.
Ziggler, pretty much. And this will basically... this is... For us, this is only an opinion, by the way.
These are only our opinions. Yep, you're allowed to disagree with them. You're allowed to have your own. You're allowed to think we're wrong or a bit daft or possibly taking one too many bumps to the head. Whatever, that's fine. We're not saying
that could have been very likely from time to time, because even though I do actually run UKWA, I do wrestle from time to time, so it could be that.
Yeah, and luckily the car turned up, so all the Rumble people were there, so I didn't have to take any unnecessary bumps to the head by doing double duty.
Even though I did find it odd that you did have your gear on.
Yeah, well,
at least you were ready.
The thing is, A, I was ready, and B, I was desperately hoping that not the Fourth Doctor, Tom Baker, would question me about it. And do you know what? Not once did he even look. Such a waste of it.
I love it. Absolutely love it. But anyway, point being is, we'll just get back to it, back to our original scheduled programming. We're both going to go Goldberg, and this is most likely going to be to correct his last match so he can actually end his career on a high, because his last match wasn't the best, but it will most likely do him a favour.
Indeed. Right, next we move on to the first match on the main card that may possibly be a contender for, and who am I kidding, will be a contender for match of the night. The singles match for the United States Championship.
Correct.
Pitting current defending champion AJ Styles against the man he beat for the gold, Ricochet.
And he's not Irish.
Yeah, he is. Rick O'Shea.
He's not Irish.
He's Irish in the same way.
He's not.
He's Irish in the same way that Sabu's Indian.
Oh,
we all know that Sabu is from Bombay, Michigan. And Rick O'Shea is from Dublin, Connecticut. It's fine. He's allowed to be.
Okay.
I can sense you're deeply uncomfortable with this. Ricochet is not Irish. However, every time I mention that he is, it makes Matt Burns deeply uncomfortable, which, call me a child, but makes me want to do it all the more. Sorry. Let's move on. We all know this is going to be one hell of a match because, well, frankly, these are probably two of the top 5 best workers in the whole company.
Hal, come on. You got the phenomenal one, AJ Styles, against the
What
man
was his Indies nickname? Because I was going to say the man that Gravity forgot, but that wasn't him.
No.
That definitely wasn't him.
King Ricochet.
Yeah.
The fact that, the man is a wonder, a massive rising star, and, is an expert at the 630.
Yep.
A human highlight reel.
Something that I couldn't execute safely if that's how many hours you gave me to try, or that many crash mats to land on.
Pretty much. But anyway, the point being is, both of them are human highlight reels, absolutely amazing, and both of them give massive credit to them.
Yeah, absolutely. As I said,
this is a potential to be a match of the night.
We both think that.
Correct.
And I'm going to go with AJ to retain.
I'm going to go with AJ to retain.
Not because I don't think Ricochet deserves it. He's been champion and doubtless will be again. But
correct.
WWE seems to be, quite rightly, getting all its hot potato fetishes for titles out on the 24/7 title, and therefore against pinning them back and forth between guys. So AJ's only just won it. I think he's going to keep it a little bit longer.
But at the same time, I feel as though he's going to keep it. He's going to keep it a little bit longer because I feel as though WWE are going to be pushing Ricochet further up the card. As if I'm not mistaken, on Raw Reunion, the segment that involved, Seth Rollins, DX coming out with the Seth Rollins, if I'm not mistaken, that whole segment was actually originally meant to be for Ricochet.
Ah.
So the actual rub was meant to happen to Ricochet instead of it being on Seth.
I see. Well, I did not know that, but that makes a little bit of sense, actually. Yeah, that's cool. So we're both going AJ to retain for now because Ricochet going on to greater things. Heights that we might add, we don't think AJ won't ascend again in the future because he almost certainly will, but he's been to the top of the mountain already, so.
And at the moment, he's probably raising the bar for the United States Championship.
Which is, frankly, something that needs doing, so good on him.
Correct.
Right, next up is the match which is going to be an almighty clash of styles, and if they can find a way to work together, could be match of the night. It could also be an absolute car crash, but it's the one I'm most intrigued about.
Yeah.
And we're talking...
would you like me to do this one?
Yeah, if you like.
We have got the extraordinary man
who does extraordinary things.
Balor versus
against,
and I wouldn't say he's a certain leader. I'm just going to go with the ego that he will most likely be using, which is the Fiend, Bray Wyatt.
Now, again, I loved when Bray Wyatt came back as the sort of fake kids TV presenter in the Firefly Funhouse. I also love Bray's original character. Is the Fiend now sort of a hybrid of both? Him becoming his original character again? A third character? What is going on?
No, basically, I can actually fill you in on this. Basically, it's almost like an alternate. It's like he's got his personality, but his Fiend side is he has his love side and his hate side. His Fiend is nothing but all of his negative energy, all of his hatred, all of his nasty vileness that he's unleashing on his opponent.
So what you're basically saying is his Firefly Funhouse side is his dude love side, and what we're getting tonight is his Cactus Jack side?
If not more volatile.
Ooh, Chainsaw Charlie.
Still more volatile.
Good lord.
Pretty much.
Wow.
Take into account that the Fiend attacked Finn Balor, attacked Mick Foley, attacked Kurt Angle.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, anyway, this is a match that really intrigues me for all of these reasons. And like I say, I hope their styles don't clash. Sorry, AJ. But because, well, right up there with Drew versus Oni for the Cruiserweight title for this might well be War of the Night.
Yep.
So who do you think is going to win?
This might shock you.
It may well do.
I can see the Fiend, Bray Wyatt, coming away with the win.
Do you know what? It doesn't shock me, but it is ever so slightly annoying because that's exactly what I was going to say.
But do you have your reason why, or would you like to go mine? What's yours?
But you can go first.
And I'll let you go first.
My reason is because if the Fiend Bray Wyatt, I still can't. I'm sure I'll get used to that, but he's just Bray Wyatt, or possibly the Eater of Worlds. But yeah. Anyway, if he wins, that's all well and good. But all that will do is nicely set up the rematch at the next show, where the Fiend has to take on the Demon.
Oh, chills.
Absolutely. So that's why I think Bray Wyatt will win. Because if normal Finn Balor wins, he doesn't need the Demon, does he?
That's not the reason why I think.
Oh, it's good that we have different reasons. Okay, what's yours?
A bit of insider information.
I'd love to know who it is whose ear you've got bent back at. I nearly said Titan Towers then. How very 1980s of me.
No.
At WWE HQ, who's slipping you all these secrets.
Basically, no, it's not even that. It's even on WWE. It's on, I believe it's over multiple news sources. But rumour has it that Finn Balor is going to be taking some time off. Basically to recuperate possibly some injuries, some planned vacation days, and basically have some time off to basically rejuvenate himself. And what better way to basically, while he's about to have his time off, to be able to push a new star.
Yeah, okay. I can go with that.
Definitely got to go with that. 100%.
Right. This is good. The next match promises to be an intensely amazing match, but my God, I wish WWE would stop telegraphing the results like this.
I think there's going to be there's going to be a twist here.
All right, fair enough. This will be, of course, the singles match pitting Kevin Owens against Shane McMahon, with the massively telegraphing the outcome result. If Owens loses, he will quit WWE.
Pretty much. But I've got a bit of a... And would you like me to mention... No. You know what? I'm not going to mention it because I'm going to let you think you're going to go down the way you think.
Okay. Yeah, I have a crazy theory for what I think could happen. But you go first.
Oh, no. Mine has got a bit of a doozy because it might actually confuse you. Would you like me to state the reason why?
Absolutely. Now you've said that, you've absolutely got to go first.
Right. Basically, I actually think that, yes, at the moment in time, if Owens loses, he will quit WWE. However, what I can see is Kevin Owens getting under Shane McMahon's skin.
Yeah, I think he's pretty much done that already.
Oh, no. Shane McMahon has been refusing to put his status on the line, so he has to go off TV.
Yeah.
I can see Kevin Owens goading him into it.
That would make it more fun, definitely. I can also see as a sort of last minute sign up to the network and watch this. Go on. You know you want to go on. That itself may happen on the pre-show.
Correct, possibly.
If it does indeed happen, that is a valid possibility, and I agree. However, my
prediction
theory. Oh, okay, go on. Yeah,
is Kevin Owens.
Yes. Well, there you go. My crazy weird theory as to what might happen, Shenanigans Land, is that the match is on a knife edge. Nobody knows quite who's going to win after both of them have knocked each other from pillar to post for the duration. And then out comes the wild card in this particular scenario.
Elias?
No, that's not the one I was referring to.
Drew?
One Mr. S. Zane.
Ooh.
Who then reveals that Shane McMahon backstage tried to buy him off.
Ooh.
And get him on side.
Ooh, but then again...
Only to then reveal that he deliberately... Oh, sorry, I forgot to mention a crucial part of that here. Sami Zayn to come out and attack Kevin Owens to get Kevin Owens the win by disqualification, making Shane McMahon think that his plan has paid off, only for Zayn to then tell the crowd exactly what McMahon has done and say, "You didn't think I was going to turn on my best mate, did you? I got him disqualified. I got you disqualified, so Kevin Owens has won because screw you. I'm not turning on my best." I didn't explain that very well, did I?
I get what you mean. Basically, what you're saying is
Owens wins because
what you're saying is you're expecting Sami Zayn to come down, hit Shane, cost Owens his job, and he's not. He's just going to go right. Yeah, no, I've got one thing to say. Turn around, spark Owens. And Shane go, what the? He goes, you didn't think I was going to screw me best mate? Is that what you mean?
Exactly. Shane McMahon will have got to him and will fully be expecting him to be on his side. And at first, he'll be like, yeah, get him. When Sammy lays out KO, only for it to then dawn on him, hang on, that means I've been disqualified. That means Owens has won. At which point Zayn goes, I'm not turning on my best mate, screw you.
Oh, that could turn his face, potentially.
Yes.
But that could undo what they've been doing with Sami Zayn lately, with the whole town business and everything, with him hating on each town.
It's just as capable that he could come out and get Kevin Owens disqualified because he's fully on side with Shane McMahon. It could happen either way, but
but either way, what a perfect location to do it at. Perfect location.
Indeed. Yes. The home country of said Mr. Zayn. Oh, hang on, wait, no, and Kevin Owens as well.
Oh dear.
What?
Correct. But anyway, let's carry on, shall we?
Yeah. Wild conspiracy theories aside, however it happens, I'm going for Kevin Owens to win this one.
Exactly. Now, ladies and gentlemen, we're in the final 4 matches. Which
feels like we've run through about 50 already, but trust us, we're getting there.
Pretty much, we are getting there. But anyway, ladies and gentlemen, this is a singles match for the WWE Championship. Pitting the current WWE Champion, Kofi Kingston, versus the Viper, Randy Orton.
Oh, you ruined that. I mean, that was great, but you ruined it by not leaving a long enough pause after you said Viper, so I could make a joke about WWE finally embracing intergender wrestling, and it's nice that they let Viper have a title shot. But of course, her name isn't Viper anymore, is it? Because Randy would complain.
Ooh. I'm not saying anything to that.
Let's just leave that there. Anyway, yeah, Kofi's title reign is obviously going down well. It's going to be fairly lengthy. I think he'll probably hold it for the rest of the year.
Mm-hmm.
Slight spoiler as to where I'm going with this. And nothing says I'm the real deal like beating a 73-time former champion. You can fill me in with the correct number of world title reigns that Randy Orton's had. If you know it, I can't think of it off the top of my head.
You can't think of how many world titles he's had at this moment in time.
Randy Orton? No. Yeah, Kofi is 1. I know that. I don't remember how many times Randy Orton has been world champion. Combined, both WWE and the old world heavyweight title.
Would you like me to find out for you?
I thought you'd already know, just like that.
Of course I do. He is a multiple.
Yeah, I've got a
champion.
feeling it's what some suspicious types would call an unlucky number.
Yes, it is.
But I didn't want to just say that because I knew if I just came out and said that, you'd be like, actually, no, it's not that many. It's more or less.
It is.
Yeah.
Bang on.
We are, of course, talking about the number 612.
No, we're not. We're on about the unlucky number 13.
Yes.
But anyway.
Yeah, I think basically Kofi's going to have a long title reign. This is just a sort of, yep, I'm here to stay. Look, I've beaten a 13-time former champ, and I didn't let his mind games affect me in the slightest. Kofi over. How about you?
No.
Really?
Yeah.
Kofi needs this title and needs it for as long as possible. What has Randy got to gain from boring the arse off everybody with another title run he doesn't need and nobody wants?
I think him having the title isn't going to be a long reign, though.
Well, unless something that you mentioned earlier comes to fruition and through some freak of hashtag WWE logic booking, Ricochet wins it off him tomorrow night on Raw.
Nope.
Any title reign he has longer than 5 minutes will be too long.
No, I think Randy Orton could potentially win the WWE Championship because, as good as Kofi Kingston has been, he has been good, but I don't think he's fully hit his stride yet.
Well, that's what I was saying. I reckon that it will
But
help him get there by
it will.
defeating a multiple-time former champion of the caliber of the Legend Killer.
I think it will, but I feel as though Randy Orton is going to take the win because, as much as it is, rumor has it that Kofi Kingston is popular, but his run as champion hasn't been as strong as it should be. And I feel as though Orton getting the win could potentially, okay, it might bring it down by people's eyes, might not be happy. I feel as though that's going to fire up Kofi Kingston into, how could I let it slip? No, I'm not letting this slip. I'm coming back for my championship. That's my championship. And he'll win it back.
I can see where you're going with that. I just really tune in next week when I'll have been saying really continuously for a whole week, and I'll get to the end of how much I really don't want that to happen.
That's fine, but even so, I thought I'd go a little bit different for you. At the same time.
Okay, that's fair enough. And like we say, the more guesses we have that are different, the better the chances of one of us actually winning are. So yeah, that's cool. Right, let's move on.
True. Let's move on, shall we?
To the singles match for the WWE SmackDown Women's Championship.
Yay! We're almost there. We're almost there.
Almost there. Everyone's favourite huggable one, but don't hug her anymore because she's past that now. Bayley, the champion, versus Ember Moon.
This is interesting.
First time on the main roster for a match between these two, I think.
Between them, I'm not sure, 100% sure they've hinted at it previously, but I think it's an interesting match.
Absolutely.
Bayley versus the Shinon.
Oh, if we could possibly consign... Okay, a little aside here. 3 WWE wrestlers' nicknames you'd consign to the bin immediately if you had a choice.
What?
Because for me, that's one.
It makes it even worse.
What?
That's what WWE are actually calling it.
Yeah, I know. It's horrible. I hate it.
Oh.
It's nearly as bad as what they try and fawn off on us that Kenny Williams must be referred to as.
No.
Yeah, exactly.
No.
No. Yeah, you know how much you hate that? That's how much I hate that name. That nickname. It's awful.
Just no.
Yeah, just no. She's Ember Moon.
I don't want to hear that. I don't even want to hear the kind of nicknames, Kenny Williams' nicknames that we have given him.
I didn't say it.
Just now.
But you never ever say Ember Moon's nickname again either, because that's how much that irritates you is how much Ember Moon's nickname irritates me.
That's fine. It's been stricken from the record.
Good.
Anyway, let's digress. Let's get down to business. Single match for the WWE SmackDown Women's Championship.
3 simple words.
What?
Bayley to retain. Next.
Bayley to retain. Correct. 100%. I agree.
A great match, don't get me wrong, and Ember Moon will be a very viable challenger, but Bayley to retain. Simple as that.
Correct. But I think this is going to be a match where Bayley's going to raise Ember Moon's name up in stages. Ember Moon will not suffer from the loss.
Absolutely. And she will be a future champ, just not yet.
Just not yet.
Yeah.
Correct. And that's one better way we can say it.
Yeah.
Because she is an amazing athlete.
Yeah.
And we cannot wait until she's ready.
Yes, it will be a great time. And it'll bring a fresh face to the title picture, which is never a bad thing.
Exactly.
And now we move on to the WWE Raw Women's Championship submission match.
Ooh.
Pitting, reigning, defending.
Save that for later.
Oh, yeah, sorry. I'm a match early for that, sorry. Pitting the other nickname in WWE that I'd really rather didn't exist.
I'm sorry, but this one should have to exist. She is none other than the man, Becky Lynch.
And she is facing Natalya.
Yes.
No, do you know what? Becky Lynch just needs to go to awesome nickname school because her previous one was dreadful and this one's worse.
What? What are you on about?
Her previous nickname that alluded to her fondness for kicking women.
Oh, ass kicker. I liked it.
Oh, I thought it was a puntastic piece of drivel.
No, I liked it. And I like her current one now, the man. It's a unique idea, it's a concept, and take into account she's paying tribute to Ric Flair at the damn same time.
Well, that I understand, but that's my point. Ric Flair is the man. Becky Lynch is possibly the woman, but she's not the man. And
no,
also,
she's the man. She's the man.
Also,
you know she is.
Idea for when he finally gets promoted to the main roster and probably wins the Intercontinental or US title. Velveteen Dream referring to himself as the woman. Just a thought.
Oh, he's the dream. He's a super
Yeah, but then he can expand on that and say the man, the woman. It doesn't matter, damn it. I'm the dream.
Yeah.
Anyway, aside from that, Becky Lynch against Natalya.
Submission match.
Becky Lynch to retain. Next.
Did you forget something?
Did I forget something? Does it rhyme with Barkfooter?
What?
Natalya's finisher.
No, did you forget something?
What?
Where is it? Where is it?
That?
The event.
And? Because it's in Canada doesn't mean every Canadian has to win.
I'm not saying that part from it, but it's. I just don't just point that out just in case.
Yeah.
Just in case. But anyway, even though I've just pointed that out, I digress. I will pick the man, Becky Lynch, to go over.
Yes. And now we get to this evening's main event.
That we do, and
a singles match for the WWE.
Wait. I'll do that bit. You introduce the wrestlers. Is that okay?
Oh, okay.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is a singles match for the WWE Universal Championship.
In the corner to my left, sorry, force of habit, the reigning, defending, Universal Heavyweight Champion of the world, Brock Lesnar. I can't believe I put that much effort into announcing someone I cannot stand.
Sorry, you missed something out.
Oh, I didn't go Brock and make the R last about 5 seconds.
No. You missed it. You missed something off. Undisputed. He says that in his introduction.
He does. You're quite right.
He is the reigning, defending, undisputed WWE Universal
Heavyweight Champion of the world, Brock Lesnar.
Brock Lesnar. Anyway, we digress.
And his opponent is the
Kingslayer.
Architect Kingslayer. Burn it down. Reclaim, redesign, rebuild. Beast Slayer. Man of 1,000 nicknames. Seth Rollins.
Hey!
Yes.
And also a person who Twitter seems to be liking to fire shots at as well.
I have noticed that.
Apologies for the sneeze
there.
Was that
you firing a shot at him as well?
No, that was just me sneezing. Apologies for that.
Oh, okay. It was difficult to tell. I'll take your word for it.
But anyway, we digress.
We're nearly at the end. If the pre-show does start at 11, we've got 9 minutes. So it's a good job this is the last match. Because we could go back and forth on this for about that long. And you've got the promos to do. The plugs. But basically, I am going to go for Rollins to regain. simply on the basis that he's there every week. Lesnar doesn't need the title, and frankly, I don't understand why they gave it to him a third time in the first place.
Couldn't have said it better myself. Could not have said it better myself. And the stupid thing about this, as much as in regards to this, what I am going to do right now is pretty much just state, you're thinking Seth Rollins, aren't you?
Yes.
I'm really sorry for this. I am really sorry for this.
You don't agree with me, do you?
No. I don't.
Do you know why I think Seth Rollins is going to win as well?
Go on.
Now, we all know that Mr. Lesnar has, I believe, a certain degree of creative control in his limited contract.
Yeah.
So I don't think for a million years he's actually going to agree to this. But in my head, there's going to be one hell of a match between the two of them. You know, Seth Rollins utilizes his fantastic array of wrestling moves in between getting German suplexed 873 times, and at the end of which the ref gets knocked down. And then in a reference back to when Rollins lost the title, Becky Lynch jumps out the crowd and puts the disarmer on Brock Lesnar, and he taps like a bitch. And then the ref wakes up, Rollins hits a curb stomp and regains his title.
No. I'm really sorry to do this.
No, I know that's not going to happen in approximately a million years of blue moons, but I would like it to. That is all.
Lesnar is retaining.
You've literally just stuck a pin in my party balloon, metaphorically, but I could see that happening, as much as I don't want it to.
Are you predicting Lesnar?
No, I'm predicting Rollins, but I can see either way happening, to be brutally honest.
I know. I think they're going to be putting as much as it's silly because I feel as though Lesnar's got a few extra dates on his contract, so they're just going to keep the belt on him, which is a shame because that means the WWE Universal Championship is off the air longer again.
Yeah, you'd have thought they'd have learned in the last two times, but apparently not.
They haven't. And the thing about it is, for me, I feel as though they're going to keep it on, and whoever they do actually get it off, please, when Brock Lesnar does lose the championship, make it definitive, make it as though whoever does it literally does put Lesnar down, and it's like, what the hell? You know, Lesnar's even going, what the hell?
Yeah. No, Lesnar's not saying what the hell. Lesnar is lying unconscious in the middle of the ring
thinking
because he has been put down to the point where he reconsiders his future.
Possibly. But not leave.
Paging Braun Strowman.
Paging Braun Strowman, paging any other top superstar. There isn't anybody like who needs a big boost like Drew. Oh, wait.
No, there isn't anyone who's been pushed relentlessly by WWE for 2.5 years as an unstoppable monster, except where titles are involved.
Yeah.
Quite like the monster among men.
Correct. And he would be a good pick.
Absolutely.
But anyway, we digress. Anyway. But
that's the predictions wrapped
the whole
up.
Prediction. But there's a but here. Name me two things that aren't.
Make your mind
Name me two things that are not on this event.
The Intercontinental Championship.
That's one.
Any male tag team championships?
My mistake, not two, it's three.
That's two. And three. Dean Ambrose.
Nope.
Well, he's not, but that's not who you had in mind. Okay, go on. What's the third thing?
You mentioned that this person was the top star, one of the top stars in WWE.
Yep.
Yet he hasn't got a match.
Yes. The monster among men in the doll queue.
No. Somebody else. Like you said during you mentioned because a person from the pre-show
He
got
will have a
their
match,
rear.
but it'll be at AEW, and he won't be called Dean Ambrose anymore. I'm sorry to break it to you.
No. You ready?
Yeah,
This
go
is
on.
somebody who whooped Buddy Murphy on SmackDown this week.
Do you happen to be referring to the man who shares one of his names with Mr. Gulak?
Hmm?
And I don't mean Gulak, I mean the other name.
Which one?
What's Gulak's first name?
Drew?
Correct.
No.
Who's the other person on the roster with that name?
No. I'm not referring to that person.
Oh, okay.
I-
Are
I-
you therefore referring to everyone's favourite submission machine from A Small Island?
Nope.
He's
ready
not
for
on the
this?
card, but that's not who you're referring to. Okay.
Are you ready
Just
for
put me
this?
out of misery. We've got a pre-show to watch. Who is it?
It's none other than the big dog, Roman Reigns.
That is true. He is not on the card. However,
And if I'm not mistaken, you turned around and said he's one of the top WWE stars, and yet he's not even on this event. However,
This
I
is
can
true.
see
However-
him. I can see him being in some sort of segment involving either Rowan, who has been suspected of causing accidents lately,
yes.
or Daniel Bryan.
Who, by the way, neither of them are on the card either.
And there is one more person who I think is a massive shame isn't on the card. And you did.
Yeah, he's not on the card, and as a result, the card is simply not awesome in the slightest.
You're thinking Miz.
Yes, I know you're
No.
not thinking of him, but he's also another big name that's nowhere near this card.
I'm thinking Roman. Not Roman. I'm thinking a certain, Samoa Joe.
I did say everyone's favourite submission machine.
The reason why
That's who
I
I was
say
referring to.
no, I
Just
know
in
you
case
were.
anyone at
I
home
know.
Didn't
I
join
know.
the dots like
But do
Matt
you know-
Burns.
Do you know what I thought was interesting?
What?
He's been a villain lately. Yet what happened on recently with Roman when Roman got pretty much hit by a car?
Yeah.
While someone tried to run it, bash it, slam his car into his. Joe
What,
actually showed concern.
Really? What? Someone tried to run Roman Rock over? I wonder
Pretty
who could
much.
possibly have done that.
However, a lot of people are suggesting.
No. That's a lawsuit waiting to happen. I'm not mentioning the Usos at this point. I'm not. Stop.
No. Are you
They
ready
might
for
be
that?
connected to Rikishi, and we know what he did
No,
to The Rock.
no,
Stop
please,
right
oh,
there.
Lord.
Stop right there.
Just stop there, please.
Quick, change routine.
Right.
Let's go to your
All
plug.
I'll say to you is, I'll go back to this one. Good Lord. All I'll say is, the reason why I think this is a good pick, because like we said, it's been rumoured that it's Rowan or Daniel Bryan, but there's also a counter-argument.
Go on.
The argument is it's been pointed out, blah, 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 Buddy Murphy suggested it could have been Rowan, blah, 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 so they could be elevating Daniel Bryan and Rowan into the main event picture by going against the big dog Roman Reigns.
Yeah.
And everything. You know what the biggest issue I had?
What?
Right? The car that hit Roman's car,
Yeah.
petrol.
Petrol. Yes.
It's a petrol vehicle.
Yes.
With
So
Daniel
you'll have-
Bryan's current gimmick, he wants to save the world, save the planet.
Yeah. As we all know, electric cars wouldn't go fast enough to injure someone, especially a big, strong WWE wrestler. The electric car would bounce off.
It may do,
Oh, dear me.
if he was souped up.
No.
I'm trying to use logic. Maybe.
I know, but this is WWE. That's like saying, "Oh, look at this lovely bowl of tomato soup. Where's my fork?"
Amazing. But anyway, we digress.
That's a fantastically surreal way to wrap things up. Oh, can I just mention as well, for wrestling fans,
Yeah.
before you do your plugs,
Yeah.
I know I mention it a lot, it's one of my plugs, it's one of my guilty pleasures, the Distraction Pieces podcast with the legendary musician turned podcaster Scroobius Pip.
Yeah.
This week, if you're a wrestling fan, it will interest you because his guest is Progress Wrestling commentator and Future Shock alumni Matt Richards.
Please check it out.
Absolutely.
Please
Because
check it out.
I'm sure they will talk about other things, but wrestling is probably going to be 90% of it.
Correct. Could not agree more at all. But anyway, we digress, and we need to get down to pretty much a lot of announcements because I've even had to add a few.
I figured you would. Right, so I will take a back seat, take a deep breath, and away you go.
Right, ladies and gentlemen, I recommend everybody to check out the following plug, which is UK the Great, also known as UK Wrestling Alliance. Yes, we are going to be mentioning about Ready for War, results and quick full coverage next week. Please check out all their social media as such. Check out, wait for the results to come out. There's potentially some photos coming out from the event. I will state one event, amazing, but please check out the social media. Please check out Top Rope Media, who I will state last night's recorded Ready for War show was an absolute constant professional. Can highly recommend them. Please check them out. They are on social media, so if you do need to have some recorded events, please check them out. Of course, as well, please check out the legendary Tony Knox, of course, who does photography. Under his, most likely his real name is Tony Knox, but he is a professional photographer, and I will state, absolute all credit to him, absolute out this world, 100%. You need pictures taken, he's the right man for the job. Please, of course, also check out Manchester Pro Wrestling Academy if you're ready for learning classes for wrestling. Because beginner classes are on Monday, £10 per class, 7 p.m, 9 p.m. But to check out their location, please check out on their social media. Please check out JG Printing and Stitching. Of course, absolutely amazing work. You've probably seen, if I'm not mistaken, John Blow has also seen me wearing the Burning Truth polo, of course, which absolutely looks amazing. Please check out JFX3D. That do actually some amazing custom-made championship if you are looking for a custom-made championship. But if I'm not mistaken, they may do other custom designs and custom models and everything. But please check them out. They do absolutely amazing work. Please check out charities like Mind and Changes for Health and Wellbeing. Absolutely great causes. It's always a great cause, especially for mental health as well. So read out all the information that they do provide on their website, because the information that you could find could prove very useful and could actually end up changing someone's life, either be your own or somebody else's, because you never know. Please check out bands like The New Breed, Camens, Blackpool. Absolutely amazing music. I can honestly highly recommend them all. They're absolutely out of this world, brilliant. And of course, as always, we've got to fit these in. Of course, we've got to fit in Botchamania, and of course, WrestleCraft. And what more can we say? The funny side of wrestling, of course, as always. So with that, you're welcome, Matthew.
Cheers, Ardy. You're welcome as well. Your daily dose of the lighter side of wrestling.
Exactly.
If, for whatever reason, the Burning Truth isn't enough.
Exactly. And of course, another place to go for the lighter side of wrestling is OSW Reviews, which, if I'm not mistaken, also Matthew does actually have some guest appearances on there, and possibly, I'm not 100% if RD's been on there himself, but absolutely amazing show, especially. I highly recommend them myself. Please check out Bill DeFranco. If I'm not mistaken, he's expanding a bit into much bigger channels as well, especially where I'm trying to remember the new channel, of course, but he is bringing out news. He could be potentially leading into his own news media channel on YouTube, which will be very interesting, because they are doing it in such a way where it's not, basically it's unbiased, but not one-sided, and actually tries to strike up a conversation.
Indeed.
So, of course, please check out When Fandom Strikes, especially. She's an absolute amazing person. She's got an amazing singing voice, and of course, produces amazing, funny content, especially on the application TikTok. In case everybody doesn't know about it, I also recommend everybody to check out all channels of Luke Moto, be it either his main channel, Luke Moto, or his gaming channel, Gaming Moto. I will say he is very, very funny, absolutely entertaining. Of course, onto YouTube, of course. Please check out First We Feast, especially the Hot One series, if I'm not mistaken. They've got some interesting interviews on there currently right now, which I recommend everybody. If you haven't watched it, when you watch the first one, you will binge watch the rest. And of course, we need to give a massive shout out to a podcast on all things geeky, DC, Marvel, and it has got an absolute amazing host on there other than Magic Mark Adams. And this is, please check out Geek of the Week.
Please do. Oh, are you done? Is that everything?
No, not done.
Okay. Take a deep breath. I would just like to point out at this time, if you're listening to us live now, you're already missing the Cruiserweight title match because the SummerSlam pre-show started at 11 o'clock.
Damn it, we do apologise if we've extended too far, but please check out also podcasts, and please check out the website We The Independents, as they absolutely have an interesting, massive goals, but also different opinions. But please check out in regards to their pledges and everything, especially with the fact that of what their aim is to do with independent wrestling. Please check it out. You're welcome, David Starr, and of course Sugar Duncan, and much more, and all the guys involved with We The Independents. Please check out Kayfabe Music UK, as they do absolutely amazing custom-made music, especially for wrestling entrances and much more. Please, of course, last few things to give massive shout-outs to, which is please check out Turnbuckle TV, because you get all that amazing 30-plus companies, including a soon-to-be ready for UK Ready for War show that will be on there soon. And how much is it for?
You missed a trick there. I think you'll find, including UKWA and its soon-to-be recognised as Show of the Year contender, Ready for War.
Oh, I like that.
Cheers, Zach Gibson.
Like that. You're welcome.
It is for the fantastically wonderful price of $3.99 a month. That's literally... What's that? That's not even a Starbucks latte chino these days, is it?
Correct. And if I'm not mistaken, it's also £1 a week, close to. Yes. Knock off a penny.
£1 a week. Other coffee shops are available.
Pretty much.
Yeah. So, Turnbuckle TV, come on, you can't not do it, and not just because, if you go to turnbuckletv.com/UKWA and join through there, it helps your favourite promotion as well.
Well, one of your favourite promotions, or you can actually go on to any of the promotions that you actually want to support, sign up in regards to them, and show your love for independent wrestling. As this is a massive community, swings and roundabouts. We all, just look at it this way. If you want a chance to be able to help a local promotion that you do support, and if they're on Turnbuckle TV, what better way by showing some love on there?
Absolutely. And if you're anything like me, you can't get to very many independent wrestling shows up and down the country due to, having to work for a living. So you need never miss another show, because they're all there on Turnbuckle TV for you to watch in whatever sparse amount of leisure time you get.
And the scary thing about it is content is always getting added on there.
Absolutely. They add pretty much a new company every week, and, with every new company comes...
Or a new show.
New shows. There's also new shows from the existing companies going on there all the time.
Correct. And soon to be more companies as well. But either way, we digress. Okay. We also recommend everybody to check out your local wrestling shows. Just some examples be United Wrestling, Academy Pro Wrestling, Future Championship Wrestling, Fusion Pro Wrestling for You, and many more. And of course, you want to give out your own local promotion
including,
shows,
but not limited to, WAW, Future Shock, PCW, GPW, Falling Star Wrestling, LDN Wrestling, Progress Wrestling, ICW. Basically, stick a pin in a map in a large population area, it will have a wrestling promotion. Find it, support it, cherish it as if it was one of your children.
Correct. And ladies and gentlemen, let me just point this out. Yes, next week I will be most likely covering some talk about some local British wrestling that I will be actually doing matches for as well. I'll just name two companies that I will be wrestling for in the future, but I'll most likely talk about the matches in possibly a little bit more detail in the build-up for it, to hype it up a little bit. One of them being at United Wrestling and the other one being for Pro Wrestling for You.
Fun. So not only will we have all the fallout from UKWA ready for War next week, but we will have rundowns of those matches or previews, depending on whether they've happened yet or not, of those as well.
They won't be. They'll be getting hyped up as much as possible, both of them.
Awesome. And of course, next week we will, as well as UKWA Ready for War, we will give the required off the scale amount of hype to NXT TakeOver Toronto and SummerSlam.
Correct.
We don't know if that's off the scale yet, but there's every chance it will be.
And of course, we keep mentioning local wrestling, of course, but everyone keeps saying, but I haven't got any local promotions near me. I don't know about any local promotions. I wonder if there's a way we can resolve that issue. Yes, there is. Very simple.
Does it rhyme with Burn Tuckle TV?
No. But Turnbuckle TV are linked with them.
Of course.
Of course. And if anybody is interested in finding out more about, local promotions, and here's the thing. Do you know what you need to get? Do you know what you need to find this new revolutionary way of finding local promotions?
Go on. Is it found on that revolutionary new and possibly quite dangerous thing, the interweb?
You can use it from your mobile phone.
Yes, which, don't forget,
it's connected to the internet.
Fairly soon, the interweb will be available on mobile phones. And then all hell will break loose.
It is available on all phones. But the thing is, it is on the interweb. But more importantly, yes, it is on there. But the amazing thing about it, there's a mobile phone application where you can pretty much just go, click, check out local promotions near me, and they even have a range bar of how far you're willing to travel to find your local promotions near you, even with show dates, of course, as well.
Fantastic. It's like an online wrestling directory.
Pretty much. What's this application called? None other than Babyface Wrestling UK, which you can actually download that app. Do you know how much for?
I do not. Please tell me.
Ready for this? An amazing price. You cannot beat this price because it's free.
Wow. Indeed, that is a price that cannot be beaten.
Correct. I think the only way it could be beaten is if they were actually giving you money to actually use the app, but then that gets into silly idea concepts. But it's free, and it's an absolute amazing app because not only do you do that, you also get to follow your own companies that you do want to support. You also get to follow wrestlers that you are absolutely massive fans of, and of course, so much more. But
that's pretty much us done for this week, I think.
It is, but we've got one more thing to shout out, which is the Burning Truth website, which is www.theburningtruthuk.com. And all I'll just state is I can run down the list of things that we do have to cover. The only thing I will just state is please check out our social media, for example, Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, and of course Twitter, which we have as the handle for Twitter is a little bit different than the usual handle, which the handle for us on Twitter is WRESLING4THWALL. And of course, we do actually have some past episodes on Spotify. We are trying to find a way of getting up-to-date episodes on Spotify, hopefully in the future. But
fingers crossed.
In regards to all that, thank you very much for listening to this episode. That is a wrap-up for this week. We'll hopefully be back next week. Back to our usual scheduled program as always. Hopefully bringing you a lot of content.
Yes. So we're now both going to, I would just like to point out, in very, very separate rooms in different ends of the country, go for a very long lie down.
Potentially. And at the same time, I'm also watching SummerSlam. For some of us.
Well, that's the thing. You can watch it whilst lying down. If you fall asleep, it's on the network to watch again at your leisure.
For $9.99.
So, $9.99. WWE Network, $9.99. Not to be confused with Turnbuckle TV, $3.99.
Great value for price.
Absolutely.
But anyway,
on that bombshell, it really is time we disappeared. Thank you for listening. Go and watch SummerSlam. Have fun. See you next week.
Correct as always. And as my colleague just stated, that's a wrap up for this week. So please, everybody, stay well, stay safe, and as always, please check out your local wrestling. Until then, catch you next week.
Bye.
Bye bye.